A lot of people think that being a millionaire is out of reach. They do the sums and realise that even on the average UK salary over a standard working lifetime, they are barely earning over $1 million. But when the majority of that goes on food, rent, transportation, clothes, and just general living, how is it possible to get to the point where you have $1 million in the bank? This is the Looking After Your Pennies YouTube channel, and it is time for another edition of Finance in 5. Compounding interest explained. This is a topic that I know they are teaching in schools. At some point in about year 8, your teacher would have introduced you to the topic of interest as part of your work on percentages. But I bet that it was one of those topics that you practiced to pass the test and then forgot about, when actually it is one of the most powerful phenomenon that exists in the world of finance. Now, before we get to compounding interest, let's look at its significantly less impressive brother, simple interest. Now, it is rare to see this type of interest in the world of finance, but I have started to see it crop up over the last couple of years. With most interest rates on savings pretty low at the moment, a couple of providers have started offering higher interest rates but using simple interest instead. So what is it? Let me explain. Let's say you have £1,000 to save and you pop that in a savings account with a dizzying 1% interest rate. Now let's assume that's it. You don't add any more to it and you leave it there for 5 years. So 1% of 1,000 is 10 quid. So after the first year, they give you 10 quid in interest. Now, because this is simple interest, they are just going to calculate the interest based on the money you put in the start. So in year 2, you'll get 10 quid again. The same in year 3, the same in year 4, and the same in year 5. So this is really easy maths because you're going to get 5 lots of £10, so 50 quid. But compound interest is different. This time you're going to earn interest not just on your original investments, but also on any money made in interest. So take that £1,000, but with a 1% interest rate. But this time it is compound interest. After year 1, you still get that 10 quid, but the difference happens in the second year. This time, at the end of the year, you get the 1% on your £1,000, so £10, but you also get 1% on last year's interest. That's an extra 10p. But in your year 3, your interest earned is now £30.30, and in year 4 it's £40.60, and in year 5 it's £51 and 1 pence. Now that £1 difference between the simple interest and the compound interest might not seem that impressive at this point. But what happens when we look over a much longer time frame? And rather than saving this money, we want to invest it and hopefully get a reasonable return of, say, 8%. Now we can look at £1,000 invested again. Remember, your capital is at risk and it can go down as well as up. This is not financial advice. We're going to invest it and we're going to get an average return of about 8% every year. And we're going to do this for 30 years. If you want to work this out on your calculator, you need to do the following calculation. 1,000 times by 1.08 to the power of 30. Like, no brackets, just type that into your calculator. And that will give you £10,062.66. And that's without paying in another penny, just letting your money compound over time. You would be over £9,000 up on your original investment. Now, for the purposes of comparison, let's look at simple interest. The calculation is pretty easy. You work out 8%, which is 80 quid, and times that by 30. So that's 2,400. It's still good, but it's not £9,000 good. Now imagine this was larger amounts of money, or imagine you were paying in a regular amount. The maths gets trickier here, but there is a great calculator that can help you. I'll link it in the description so that you can have a play with it yourself. But here is a quick demo. So let's take that £1,000. Ignore the dollar signs, it doesn't matter what symbols they put there. We're going to leave it for 30 years at a rate of 8% annually. You're also going to add £100 a month to the pot. What you end up with is over £150,000, but you've only paid in £37,000 over a period of 30 years. That is a huge return, all thanks to compound interest. So there you have it. I'm Charlotte Jessup, and this is Finance in 5. Compound interest explained. Bye.